it hasn't even been 1 week yet. Cup is gone, Kelsey's gone, and we haven't kicked off one game yet. If y'all don't find a way to get
This
an
ga-
outlet to let this frustration out, I don't know what to
this
tell y'all for the rest of the year, man.
look. I think I sent it in the group text. I saw a thing online the other day. I guess this person picked a few weeks ago had
And Jonathan
Kelsey
Taylor, you're right.
in the first round, Cup in the second round, Jonathan Taylor when it still looked like he was about to get traded in the third round. And I legit felt for dude. Like I've never met that person in my life,
That's what this game
but my
is, bro.
heart went out to them because we've all been there when the game
It's
don't
all
love you
pain.
back, man. They don't love you
All
back.
pain. Of course it doesn't, man. Here we are again, week 1 preview. We straight to it, man.
Week one,
Kickoff is in
we made it back to
kickoff in
football,
45 minutes.
baby. We back.
Somehow,
We back,
somehow
baby.
we did it again. And we're kicking off with a good game, B. Kansas City and Detroit is fun. That's gonna be fun
It's a fun
tonight.
game. I think the Lions hype has gone too far. I'm not going to necessarily
Yeah.
call it. Kelsey being out does make a difference, though. There's no denying that. Like Kelsey's that dude, so it might be. Look, I think Detroit is going to be
Lions are
good
gonna be
this year.
good. Yeah.
I feel like the hype has gone a little too far with the Lions, but I do think they're going to be good.
I feel like Pat is Pat and people are forgetting Pat is Pat. And Pat's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm shining tonight. I'm gonna do Pat things." That's all.
Yeah,
You should,
yeah,
that's really it.
sounds about right. Sounds about right.
So we start with the Chiefs side of the ball. Obviously, Pat. Running back rise. I know we're in on Pacheco. Do we feel good about Pacheco coming off of the injuries and not a lot of work? Is this a week 1 McKinnon game and then Pacheco eats eventually, or are we throwing him in the
I,
lineup tonight?
I think it depends on what you have available to you, as much as anything. Honestly, like I'm playing him in one league. Uh,
Okay.
it wouldn't have been my optimal choice, but I'm not stressing it either. Like I feel fine
Right.
about it. Um,
Right.
it's one of those things. Like if you drafted him to be your RB2, you're going to play him.
I'll play him.
If you drafted him to be a flex and you have a flex option that's basically in the same realm, then hey, you think about it. But overall, I like Pacheco this year. Not to be some fantasy stud, but I think he's going to consistently be an RB2 caliber player. So
Okay.
if you got him, play him. Week one, I mean, look, we all want to win every week, but
Of course.
week
Feel
one
it
and
out week
two,
one.
as much as anything, are about getting a feel for what your roster is, what your roster isn't, and what you might need. That's just how I go about it. So week one, I kind of like to go chalk if I can afford to go chalk.
Yeah, makes sense to me. Pass catchers, for me, I have no idea. If you got one of them and you have to play one of them, it doesn't matter. Just play one.
But
And,
I'm
and I
in
don't
on
think
Sky
we're gonna
Moore.
figure it out.
I'm in
Well,
on Sky
yeah,
Moore, like probably
yeah,
more
you
than
are.
most people, but I am in on Sky Moore. So,
You are.
but again, it
Kadarius
depends on what
is
we're
healthy.
talking about.
They're gonna play
I'm not.
Kadarius. They're gonna have to get him something. Justin Ross is interesting. Rashi Rice is interesting. I'm not
So
playing any tight
Ross and
ends. That's what I do know.
Rice, I think they are interesting down the line. I don't think they're necessarily interesting the first month. That's just my perspective. I think that some experience is needed on both fronts. I'm not playing the tight end Gray. Like he might go for 3 touchdowns tonight. I'm not playing him. Like, how do you trust it? You know. So
You can't.
again, week one, I like to go chalk. You never want to lose Kelsey because if you took him, you either spent a lot of money in an auction or you took him in the first or second
Or
round,
you
more
took
than
him in the first,
likely.
second round. Yep.
That being said, it's a Thursday game. You have plenty of time to find a tight end that you
Yes.
could plug in. You could plug in a Hayden Hurst. Cole Kmet is available in plenty of leagues. Like, there are people out there. They're not going to be great because tight end is a wasteland, but there are people out there you could plug in this weekend if you're dealing with not having
Would
Kelsey.
Would you rather play somebody this weekend or play Sam Laporta tonight?
Rookie first game, I don't know how to feel
Always
about that.
scary.
So if
Yep.
you want to play Laporta tonight, more power to you. Maybe he
Okay.
has a great game. I actually think he's going to be a very good player in this league, but I'm not expecting to see some huge dose of him tonight.
I feel you. Obviously, Amon Ra, Gibbs, Montgomery, playing all
Yeah,
those
you're
guys.
playing him. You're playing
Playing
all those
everybody.
guys.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you got Sky Moore and he's like a wide receiver three, wide receiver four type,
Yep.
if you play like a dual flex, I think he's worth a play. But You got to acknowledge going into playing Sky Moore, he might get you 5 points, he might get you 15. You have no
Yep.
idea. None. It's all
Best ball,
guesswork.
Josh Reynolds. Just remember Josh Reynolds. For some reason, golf likes Josh
No,
Reynolds.
I
If
like
you're
him tonight.
desperate of something,
I like him tonight.
do a little
No,
Josh
like
Reynolds
I
thing.
like Reynolds tonight to a point, depending on how, like you said, for best ball or DFS maybe, but
Yep.
you know,
Yeah. Let's not get cute. Into Sunday. Let's start off with two fun rookies. Carolina at Atlanta. Bryce. I
I don't want to
here's
start anyone on
here's who
Carolina
I
other
want
than
to.
Sanders.
All I got is Miles Sanders. That's it. That's my side of the ball. The other side, I just
And
don't
I
see
have
Bijan
Bryce
play.
in leagues where
Bijan
he
might
will
be on the
play.
big screen for me.
Yeah, I have Bryce, but
Bijan might be on the big screen for
Bijan,
me
you're
just
playing,
because.
obviously. I actually feel really good about Drake London this year. So
I
I'm
do too.
playing Drake London.
Kyle Pitts, who knows,
Pitts,
man?
you're not likely to have a better tight end on your
Right,
roster. It seems wasteful if you do.
right. If you have
But
Pitts,
I
you
don't
don't
know what
have
to
any
make
better
of Pitts,
options.
man. Like,
Who knows,
yeah,
bro?
I've never had Pitts in any league, and somehow I feel blessed
I
because it
have
just
him in
seems
a league,
frustrating.
and it's weird, like because I've never had him before this year. It's never happened, and I'm just like, all right, sure, but I just think Ritter is terrible. So there's that. That's all I got. I have nothing else
That's
on the
that
Carolina
too.
side, man.
That too.
I've got
Yeah,
nothing
no,
else.
that's
Miles.
dude. Their two best wide receivers aren't practicing. DJ Chark is not playing. Thielen did not practice today, so we'll
Right.
see. Given his age, am I starting Jonathan Mingo? Absolutely not.
Nope.
Absolutely not.
Miles about to get
So
11 targets.
yeah, like
It's about to get interesting.
I like Miles Sanders
Uh,
quite a bit this weekend, though. I like him quite a bit.
this is a fun one. Cincinnati at Cleveland.
For fantasy purposes and real purposes, it's really fun. I'm
Yes.
starting everybody that you would think that you would start on both sides. I want all three of those
Okay.
wide receivers. Actually, the first two, Boyd, depending on what your flex options are, but I could
Okay.
absolutely see him being plugged in as flex. I
Okay.
absolutely love Joe Mixon this season. Joe Burrow, he tells me he's healthy, ready to play, then he's being played.
I believe him.
If you selected the nasty man in the draft, then you are playing him. I would not select him in any draft,
Ever. No.
but if you select him in any draft, you're playing him. Um,
Nick Chubb.
Amari, you're playing. I
Chubb,
actually like
man.
Peoples Jones this weekend.
Okay.
I like Njoku. Like you're playing everybody. Like you're playing everybody, both
Are
sides of the
you
ball.
in? Are you in on this Elijah Moore thing for Cleveland?
To a point, yes. To a
Okay.
point. Right now, if I had him, he's one of those guys. I'm putting him on the bench, and I want to see how it looks for a couple of weeks. I'm not just plugging him right in. It's week one. You should not be desperate enough to where you have to plug him right in. But
Right.
over the course of the season, yes, very much so. I do think he's going to be their number two pass catcher ahead of Njoku and ahead of Peoples Jones.
Okay. Let's get fun. Jacksonville at Indy. Anthony
Is this
Richardson.
fun?
Yeah, man. Because I love Jacksonville this year. I think Jacksonville is going to be a
I do
great
too.
fantasy offense. I'm
I
starting everyone I
100% agree.
can from Jacksonville side of the ball. And Anthony Richardson's on the other side, man. How does that not going to be fun? It's just going to be fun to watch what he does back
Because
there
the
with nobody else.
The Colts stink,
They do.
and yeah, the Colts are terrible.
They
Um,
do.
Circling back to the Jags, are you playing Zay Jones this weekend? Because
I
he's the
am.
one that I really think there is value to Zay Jones this season. I know that it's on
I am.
consensus, but I think there is.
I am. Because those guys, listen, I think Trevor's going to throw the ball a whole lot more than anybody's giving him credit for. I think they're just going to put the ball in his hands. I don't think they're not going to do a lot of running between the tackles. Peterson doesn't want to do that to ETN. They're not going to just throw Tank Bigsby out there to run the ball between the tackles 10
Are,
times.
are you sure they're not going to with Tank Bigsby? Are
They're
you
not going to do it
sure they're
enough
not?
to take the ball out of Trevor's hands as much as I think
No,
he's going
no,
to throw the
no.
ball this year.
Trevor's going to be fine. This isn't about Trevor. My
Oh,
longstanding
this is
thing this
about
season is
ETN.
I don't know how to feel about ATN and Bigsby. Like ATN is
I agree.
clearly RB1, but I don't know how to feel
Which
about
is going
that
to matter.
split. Is that split 80-20, 70-30? Because if it's 80-20 or 70-30, ATN's going to be a top 20 running back. If it's 60-40, things get murky.
60-40, I don't see until later in the season when Bigsby legit establishes himself in the regular season. But I do think they want
That's
to
it.
play Bigsby.
But the fact that ATN gets banged up so much, my question is, are they going into the season with it in mind that we are not going to overwork him? And say, for instance, they have this imaginary cap where they're like, we don't want ATN to get more than 225 to 250 total touches along with the receptions.
Right.
I mean, ATN is still going to be a player that you are playing week in, week out if you have
Every
him.
single week.
I
Yeah.
just think that we might need to temper expectations for him because Bigsby's going to be just enough to be annoying. He's going to do just enough to bother you.
Do you think this becomes a Walker Charbonnet thing, or you think ATN holds off Bigsby enough to not have it be that bad?
No. ATN is talented enough that I think that unless if he's unhealthy, that he's the guy.
He's gonna hold it
I
off. Okay.
am. We'll get to Seattle. We'll get to Seattle, but no, I don't
Yeah.
quite see it to that point. At least not this year. Next year could
Okay.
be different in Jacksonville, but for this year, ATN's really going to be the guy.
I think we agree. Only guy I'm starting from Indy is Richardson. I guess Pittman because he has to throw the ball to somebody. But that's it.
I'd
I'm not
start
trusting
Pittman.
anything in the
I'd start
backfield.
Pittman.
Yeah.
I'm curious about Deion Jackson, given how he looked in those limited starts last year. He actually looked damn good,
Very
but
good
it's a
out the
completely new
backfield,
offense,
catching the ball. Yeah.
new offensive coordinator. They seem to like this rookie Hall plenty.
Yep.
Zach Moss might be back. It just feels messy. I
Yep.
need to see how it plays out. But if you do, if you're targeting a indie running back until Taylor is back or traded or whatever
It's
the
Dion.
case, it would be Deion Jackson for me again.
I agree. I agree. Tampa Bay at Minnesota.
That's actually a game I'm looking forward to.
That's gonna be
It's a
yeah.
game
It's
that I'm
interesting.
really looking forward to.
It's
How bad
interesting.
is Baker Mayfield? Can
How
he
many
just be
targets
decent?
can he get those two wide receivers? Just step back and look for
God,
those two.
look, Godwin and Evans, if Baker can just be decent, those guys will make plays for you.
They will.
All you got to do is be decent. I just have no faith that Baker's going to be decent. So either
We're
way,
not
I'm
gonna
starting
talk.
both
Yeah,
those wide receivers and the running
I
back.
agree.
And the running back.
I agree. I'm not. I'm not going to talk about Jefferson. Like, come on now. I'm not going to talk about Cousins because come on now. Do you like Madison or Rashad White more this week?
I guess I like Madison because I expect the Vikings to be up a substantial amount and be able to run the
Uh,
ball plenty in the second half.
Okay, I agree.
Over
I
the
think that
season, not probably. I like Madison more over the season. I think he's going to be more consistent.
okay.
White is going to get all those touches, but
He is.
the Bucks may be really, really bad.
They might be really
Like
bad, and this
really, really bad. Yeah.
and this Sean Tucker kid, they seem to want to give him a look in Tampa Bay. If they're terrible, why not play Sean Tucker? But Rashad White's young; they'll give him work.
But here's the thing. That's the thing. He's in his second year. Like it's
Yeah,
not like he's some 8-year vet
right.
or
Yeah,
some guy that
exactly.
you're paying big money and you're on the hook for. I'm like, nah, play him. Whatever. Best
I
man
agree.
wins.
I agree.
Football should be a meritocracy.
It
Like, let's
should
hope it
be.
remains that way in Tampa. It should be.
Quietly, the game I'm looking forward to. Well, not the game, but one of the games looking forward to. Tennessee at New Orleans. I'm intrigued, bro. Because I'm intrigued. You got Hopkins touching down in
Are people
Tennessee. What
sleeping
does
on the
this?
Titans too much?
They
Are people
are.
sleeping on them too much? Because,
They
like,
are.
they
Titans
were a
were eight
good
and three
team last year. Yeah, until
before all
injuries
the
became an
injuries
issue.
hit. Yeah.
Exactly. So, like, look, I'm guilty of it too in terms of semi anointing the Jaguars, but why? Like, everybody's like, Derrick Henry lost a step, and then you look at the numbers last year, and basically the last 8 weeks he was just killing everybody.
He was
So
he was he was that Henry the last 8 weeks. And now you
they
got
now
Hopkins
have
touching
they now
down.
have Hopkins. You got Burks back. People really didn't
Right.
talk enough about Burks getting injured last year. Just he was really
Right.
coming on. So I'm playing all those guys. If you were playing Ryan Tannehill week one, something went terribly wrong in your draft, and I'm sorry for you.
QB league, I
But I'm
can see
playing
you
everybody
having
else.
Tannehill. If you went heavy somewhere else, you can have
Okay, I'm
Tannehill QB
thinking.
too.
I'm thinking if it was a standard league.
Oh no. No,
If
no, no.
you're in a two QB league, all right, fair enough.
Yeah, yeah. The other side, Derek Carr, man. I really think
I
Derek
like him
Carr is
this
going to be
year.
okay.
I like him
I
this
really
year.
think Derek
I
Carr
think
is
he's
going to
gonna.
be okay.
I think he is going to have. He's going to have the season that we are used to Kirk Cousins having, where it's like, do I really want Kirk Cousins? Then you look up and he's like top 10 to 12 in the league. I think Derek Carr is going to put up numbers. I'm not saying
Huh.
he's going to be good, but I think Derek Carr is going to put up. Okay, Cousins might be a bit too strong because you know how I feel about Cousins. That's why you reacted that way. But I like
Yeah.
Derek Carr plenty this year. Like I think he is a top 15-ish.
He's
He's
top
going to
15 should
be.
be. I can see that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying he's going to finish top 10 or anything, but
No.
when all is said and
Definitely 12 to
done, I think he's going
13
to
to
be
15. I can see it.
4,200 yards, 25 touchdowns.
25 TDs. Not a ton of interceptions because he doesn't, he doesn't get super
No, no, no,
uber
no, no.
cocky.
He's going to throw those picks. He's going to throw those
Eh,
picks. Like,
Not
let's,
a
no, no, no.
ton, though.
He's still Derek
He
Carr.
throw like 11. He throw like 12. 25 and
Okay,
12?
so here's the thing: 2 to 1 isn't really a good ratio in the league anymore.
It's not, but for
Like we
Derek
can't think
Carr,
it.
it's fine.
It's yeah. Like he's going to be fine. Like he's going to be a starting caliber quarterback. That if you have him at QB2 or if you need him to fill in, he'll be fine. If you're in a 2 QB league, you're playing
Yep,
him. If you're in a standard league, you're not. But he's
yep.
going to be fine this year.
Chris Olave, man. I'm all in. I'm all in on Chris Olave, man. Chris Olave is about to get 11, 12 targets a game. Like he's about to just go nuts.
Olave Olave is, I think I had him seventh or eighth for the year. Like, I
Yeah.
love Olave. He is a weekly play. You're not debating it, you're just playing him every week.
Where you at with Michael Thomas, bro?
I don't dislike Michael Thomas. I don't dislike him this year if he stays healthy. I just want nothing to do with him because, look,
Nope,
if Michael
never mind.
Thomas is suddenly fully healthy, even if he's older, he's going to be a productive player. He played 3 games last year, looked terrible, but he scored 3 touchdowns.
But he scored.
If he's actually healthy, if he is actually healthy, he's
Right.
just such a big receiver. He's just such a big receiver that it makes sense in the red zone. As a flex option, wide receiver 3, sure, I'd play Thomas if I don't have a better option. Like,
Yeah.
I'd
I
hope
think
to
that's
have a
fair.
better option that I feel more secure about, but until
I
he's
think that's fair.
broken, I will play him.
And then Jamal Williams. Play him until Kamara's back. They're gonna give him work.
They are. I am curious to see once the rookie gets in the swing of things how that general split looks between the 3 of them going forward. Like, is it going to be
Yep.
a matter of Kamara and Williams are both playable week to week? Is it going to be a matter of Kendry Miller really gets involved and none of them
Right.
really feel playable? I really don't know how that's going to go. But for now, you're definitely playing Williams until Kamara is back in a few weeks. Like,
Uh,
absolutely.
yeah, I agree. Sunday early game I'm looking forward to the most. San Fran at Pittsburgh.
I like the Steelers this year, man.
I,
I
a
like
lot of
that
people like the
offense.
Steelers to win this
I like
game.
that offense. It's at
People
Heinz
got
Field, I assume, right?
it is.
That early kick for West Coast
That
teams
early
and the
it
Mike
is.
Tomlin factor with 4 months to prepare or whatever it
It's gonna,
is.
it's gonna be very interesting. It's gonna be very interesting. Najee, you're starting. You're starting Deontay. You're starting Pickens.
I'd probably start. I'd be starting Fryermuth too. He's one of those. From a tight end
Yeah,
standpoint, he's one of those. You're not likely to have a better option just readily available.
yeah.
If he's
That
on your
San Fran
team, he's
defense
your
is
best
so
tight end.
real, man.
It is, but I'm still starting everyone.
You still gotta
Again,
start
I
them.
like to go chalk week 1. Week 1, I like to go
Yeah,
chalk to
yeah.
see what I got.
You still gotta start
So
them.
I'm starting everyone. I might not want to play Pickett if I am in like a 2 QB league or
Yeah,
Superflex league. If I
yeah.
can have another option instead of Pickett, Pickett is the one that I shy away from the most. But whatever. Like, I like the Steelers to keep this competitive. I do not like them to win, but I like them to keep it competitive.
Yep. 100%. Um, this Jalen Warren or Najee Harris thing. Do you think? I mean, you're not playing Warren yet. You want to see what it looks like. It'd be something interesting to look at as the year goes on because it sounds like they want to play Warren a whole lot more than they did last year.
It sounds like they know that Warren is more explosive, but
Yeah.
you still have that first round investment in Najee Harris. And teams, whether they like to admit it or not, they are
Does
often
he?
hamstrung by the fact that they know that they spent that first round pick Shout out to Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy for being like, you know what, Clyde, you're not good. We're gonna play the seventh round rookie over your first round ass because you're not
Yep.
good. We're gonna go
Yep.
get Jarek McKinnon, who feels like he's been in the league for 15 years, and I know he hasn't. But we're gonna play him over you too. They're like, whatever. That's a sunk cost, and we're moving on. I respect it. Most teams
Yeah.
don't do that. But,
I'm with that. San Fran's out of the ball. You're playing all the guys you think you need to play. Don't get cute.
if Kittle plays this weekend, and that still seems iffy, but if he plays, you're playing him. You're
Yeah.
playing Debo. You are playing IU. Despite the fact that Pittsburgh should have a pretty good defense, you're playing everyone.
Yeah. You're playing all of them. And you're playing
Yeah,
Purdy in the 2 QB league.
yeah,
You are. You are. Yeah.
you are
Somebody's got to.
yeah,
If
you
you're
are.
playing all those other skill guys, you got to play the guy who's throwing it to him. I guess makes sense to me. Oh, 425. No, one more. Oh God, Houston at Baltimore at 1 o'clock. I'm not playing. I,
That's atrocious. Like I'm not watching that at all. Y'all can just
Houston
give
at
me a summary. Let me know what happened. I'm not watching that whatsoever.
I'm playing Damian Pierce,
Baltimore,
and I don't want to play
Baltimore
anybody else.
for Houston, yes, that is absolutely correct.
Yep.
Yeah, like that's it's going to be like that a good portion of the season. Though I do like Nico Collins to a
Yeah.
point. Like he's a guy that's interesting to have on your bench to kind of see how it plays out. Um, Dalton Schultz, I think, will be playable.
Okay.
I think
That's
he's
fair.
playable because I really think he is going to get. I think he's going to get a healthy 6, 7 targets every week, just because
That
Stroud
matters
is
at
going to.
tight end.
That team is not good. That team is not good. And at
They're gonna
tight
be
end,
terrible, bro.
if you have guaranteed volume, you probably want to play him. But I'm
Yeah.
not watching that game at all. For
They're gonna be
Baltimore, you are
horrible.
playing Lamar. He's back. Thank
Yep.
God Lamar's back. I don't really feel good about anybody other than Lamar and Dobbins week one. And Andrews, of course. Excuse
And
me.
Andrews.
Excuse
Yeah.
me. And Andrews.
Those wide receivers, I have no idea how it shakes
I
out
need to see
because
it.
Odell's
I need to
healthy.
see it.
Bateman's
Actually,
back.
he
He's healthy. He's gonna play.
limited. Hold on. Odell limited in practice today because of an ankle. So we'll see.
Yeah, he's gonna be limited forever. He's Mr. Limited.
Probably.
So
Probably. But I don't like when they're good on Wednesday and then limited Thursday. I don't like it.
yeah,
I
I
just
feel
don't
you.
like it. I don't
I
like,
feel you.
especially from that guy after being out for what was
A
it,
year and a half, basically.
a
Yeah.
year and a half? Yeah. Um, Look, over the season, the guy wanted Zay Flowers,
Hey,
but I
Flowers.
don't know how I feel about it week one.
I agree. I feel that. Green Bay at Chicago. Let's get fun. I love this game. I love Green Bay at Chicago.
I felt a lot better about this game and how much I enjoy it when we knew who was for Green Bay on Sunday. So the Watson thing bothers me.
Watson thing
Hamstrings
is
just
tough.
worry me with wide receivers. I
Watson thing
can't
is
help it.
tough.
Then you got Romeo
Dobbs,
Dobbs,
like,
who
yeah.
was limited today, but he also has the hamstring.
Yep.
Rookie, not a rookie QB, but a QB who has the job for the first time to himself.
Yep.
I
Like
I
Aaron
don't want to
Jones
play
the
any of
most
those
out of
wide.
anybody. Yeah.
I actually like AJ Dillon a lot this week too. I think they're going to try to pound the
Okay.
rock, and I think AJ Dillon's going to get 15 touches. And if AJ Dillon gets 15 touches, you want to play him. He's a good running back.
Yeah.
Aaron
I
Jones is
agree.
a rock star. You definitely want to play Aaron Jones.
Of course. Of course, we're playing.
I got to ask this question though. I got to ask
All right,
this
what's
question.
up?
I got to ask if the wide receivers, if one or both don't play, how do you feel about the rookie Musgraves? Because the way people are talking
Targets.
about him,
They're
like
talking about
the
this
way
dude like
people
he's the
are
one.
talking about him, they're talking about him like Atlanta fans were talking about Pitts.
Like he's the
Like
one.
he's the most athletic. I'm not playing him this weekend, but he is one to watch. He is one to
Yeah,
watch.
I'm with that. And Jordan Love might be a guy who's like, all right, let me get the ball to the tight end. Quarterbacks like tight ends, man. The ones who do, they give them the targets.
Especially
100%.
when your wide receiver one is not around. That's the thing. Watson
100%.
is their best wide receiver. Him not being around is a thing.
It's gonna be an issue. Fields, um, of course, DJ Moore, Khalil Herbert. You're gonna play. We both like Roshan Johnson. We think he's gonna slowly eat
Long
into
term,
that Khalil Herbert work. But right now, don't get cute. Khalil Herbert's the guy. They want to make sure he's the guy.
I feel decent about Komet this week too. I feel
Okay.
pretty decent about Komet.
Okay.
Again, you're not going to get a huge performance from him, but tight end is what it is. And if you did not get one of those top 7 guys, Komet's basically as good as anybody else.
I think that's fair. Las Vegas at Denver. I'm not excited. I'm not. For some reason, I'm not excited about this.
I
Even though
think
you got
Jimmy's going to
Jacobs and you
cook
have
this weekend.
Devontae Adams, yeah, is that
I
Denver
think
defense not
I
as
think
good as
Jimmy
people
is
give him credit for?
no. The Denver defense is fine. Whenever Jimmy is counted out, he looks good enough to get paid again, and then he looks bad again once he is paid. I've seen this story before. I know how this movie ends.
It is about
6 weeks from now,
Devontae,
he's going to
man.
have a contract extension from the Raiders, and then he's going to go back to being Jimmy G. I know. Look, Jimmy is my hero. That man does just enough at work
He did just
to
enough to get
repeatedly get
just enough
himself
to get
paid.
paid, man.
Just
I'm with
enough
it.
to get paid. So, um, Devontae, obviously, if you have Devontae, you are playing
Of course.
him, but you need to temper expectations. Patrick Surtain, it's a thing. I know that the
He's
New York media
really,
would have you
really
think that
good.
Sauce Gardner is absolutely the best cornerback in football, and he very well may be. But the reason it's not definitive is because of that guy in Denver.
Let's go
He's
Sertan is alive. He's
incredibly good,
really, really good at
and
football.
he will follow a wide receiver one. He will travel. So Devontae's going to win his share, but
But so it's
Jimmy
Patrick.
G being Jimmy G, yeah, he's not going to force the ball in there when Sertan is in great coverage. So I actually like Jacoby Myers this week.
Okay.
Like as a flex option, I do like Jacoby Myers, and obviously I love Josh Jacobs. Always, you're gonna
Yeah.
play Josh
Yeah,
Jacobs
man.
until you're given a reason not to play him. He showed
What
up.
up, guys?
He got a week and a half of work in. He avoided hits all summer.
He's
Let's
gonna
go.
be fine. He's gonna be fine. I agree. The Denver side, we'll see what the backfield looks like, but it sounds like Javonte's back. Sounds like he's gonna be
It
the guy.
does.
So,
It.
and
I
if he,
strangely still like P Ryan to a point though.
I do too.
Like to
I
a
do too.
point, yeah.
Sean Payton likes to use multiple running backs, and they both can catch the ball out the backfield. And I think they want to give Russ as many guys to not make himself look stupid out there. Um,
Are you playing Sutton
if
with Judy
Judy
out?
is
You playing Sutton?
if Judy is limited or out, then I think you have to play Sutton. Yeah, I'm not a Marvin. I get
Okay,
Marvin
that's
Mims,
fair.
but eh, like Sutton's been on the field. He's proven. Russ, let's not get crazy. Greg Dulcich, I like a lot
Absolutely.
though. I like Dulcich a lot though.
Hmm, that's
I
interesting.
do.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I like
I
Dulcich
won't
a lot.
argue with it because tight end
I'm
is
not
what
gonna
it
watch.
is. But
I'm
I
not
don't
gonna watch
think I.
one snap of that game, but fantasy purposes, I
Eh,
keep an eye out.
wait, what's the 4 o'clock split? Is this one of those weeks where it's like 3 games at 4 o'clock, or is the split
No,
pretty even?
not nah. We've got 5 at 4:25. Green Bay,
Then
Chicago
no, I will
was.
not. I will not be watching any of this game.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say if it's one of
and
those
we're gonna
Sundays where
get to
there are
the
like 2 or 3
4:25.
games, I might. But
We're gonna get to the
yeah,
4:25 game the way that you see it. It might be this next one, but the one after is mean. Philly at New England though is at 4:25.
I love this game.
Yes, yes.
Look,
Bill's gonna take a lot
I
of
don't.
things personally, man. But
I
what can you do
actually
with
think the
Hurts though?
Patriots are going to be pretty good this year. Um,
Yes,
I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs just because the AFC is a monster,
yes, and that
but
division's
I
good.
really do think they're going to win 9 games. That sounds reasonable. Um, Look, I have too much stock of this man this year in all of these 2 QB leagues where they go off the board.
Mac
I'm not happy
Jones.
about having so much Mac Jones, but I do remember as a rookie, he looked like a decent NFL caliber starting quarterback.
Okay,
And then
I'm
Matt
with you.
Patricia came in and he looked like garbage.
Okay,
Now he has
yeah.
an actual coach again. I don't love Bill O'Brien, but he made Matt Schaub look decent for all
Yep.
those years. So I think that he will do a job with Mac Jones. The fact that
Everything out of
they
campus
risked
sounded good.
losing their QBs and
Yeah,
dropped
everything out of campus
everybody
sounded
and
real
cut
good.
everyone, that all suggests that they feel very confident about Mac Jones. We're not hearing
Yep.
whispers about is he going to lose his job anymore. It sounds like he had a great camp. Um,
How you feeling about Juju?
I think he's going to definitely be their number one receiver, and I think that is worth a wide receiver 3 or a flex spot, depending on what you have available. That's not what we're here for when it comes to New England offense. We're here for Ramondre. It's Ramondre's season. I'm going to need 15 carries and about 6 to 8 targets every week. Bill don't want to pay a running back anyway. Use him up for the next couple of years. Use him up. 300
What's up?
carries. Load him up. Load
What
him
does
up.
Zeke's touches look like in his offense? Do you think? Like you're a Zeke guy.
Zeke,
He's been a year
I am
like for
a
a long
hold
time.
on. I am a Zeke fan because I am a Cowboys fan, and he brought me
Correct.
a lot of joy over the years. I'm
Correct.
not delusional enough to not realize that he is basically washed. At least the Zeke
Correct.
that we remember, he's not coming back. That being said, he can pass block. He can catch the ball. He is still good on goal line. So I think the split on snaps is probably going to be somewhere in the 65-35 range. But I do also
Okay.
think that Zeke's going to be used a good bit as far as a blocker. He
He's
does
still great
limit
at
the
that.
upside of Ramondre in terms of touchdowns.
Yes.
Uh, but overall, look, I thought that I was going to have Ramondre dropping from like my sixth best running back to like my 14th when Zeke showed up.
It
And
didn't
then
go
I
that far.
stacked the numbers, and he was
Like
10
10,
or
11.
11, somewhere
Yeah.
somewhere in that range. You're going to play
Yeah.
him every week. First, Philly in particular, I think those little dump offs are going to be incredibly important because that pass rush is what it is. And
Yep.
it's not like they have a game breaker on the outside. So I like Ramondre a lot this week, a lot more than you would normally like a running back against Philly.
Agreed. Philly side, you're playing all the pass catchers. You're playing Hurts. That backfield is one of those let's wait and see type things. Again, we don't know. I feel like it's going to be a hot hand thing. Rashad Penny versus Swift versus Gainwell. Also, who knows, man? They use back.
Philly backfield is going to get so annoying
They are. It
because it
is.
seems like the sort of thing where the second you think you have it pegged, they're going to switch up.
They're going
So
to switch it up. Yep.
I really think all three of them are going to get the ball plenty.
Hmm.
Penny is the, excuse me, not Penny. Swift is the most talented.
Yes.
That being said, we've seen the Swift movie before where he plays great for 2 or 3 weeks and then he gets hurt.
Yep.
It's running back in the NFL. It's his violent position. That's no judgment on him, but that's just the
Hmm.
reality of it. So
Penny's the
I
best
think
runner.
they're going to make a conscious effort to kind of just Penny's the best runner. Gainwell
Yeah.
just has something really explosive about him. I think they're all going to get usage. I don't want to play any of them for at least 2 weeks until I get a feel for it. Unless if Penny gets something like 18 to 20 carries where it looks like, oh, he's going to be their workhorse.
Then I
Okay,
love them. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely, because that
Anybody
line
who's
is still a
legit
monster.
the guy behind that offensive line is. I mean, Penny could be a league winner if
Behind
he's getting that work.
behind that offensive line with those weapons on the outside, you can't put another man in the box against Philly. You just can't
No,
do it. You just can't
I
do it.
agree. I agree. 4 more games before kickoff. This man, Miami at the Chargers. One, there's going to be
This will
like
be fun.
70,000 Miami fans in that Charger stadium because they have no home field.
Dude, I feel so bad for the Chargers. Like, I feel so bad for them because, like, LA don't care about neither of those football teams, but at
Nope,
least they claim the Rams. At least they claim the Rams. They're
they
like,
do.
yeah, they
Well, the
here.
Rams won the Super Bowl,
The Chargers.
so at least we take them.
No, they claimed them before because of you had the older generation who's still around who at least remember
That's true.
their Dickerson days
That's
and
true.
whatnot.
That's true.
Whereas the Chargers just become the San Diego Chargers of Anaheim, like the Angels
Please,
did.
bro.
If you need it,
Please
like
go back to the
go
powder
back, go
blue.
play in the soccer. Go back to San Diego and just play in the soccer stadium.
That's it.
35,000 of your fans.
Of
It's a
your fans.
smaller stadium, but at least you will have a home field advantage because
It'll
it's
be loud.
sad.
Yeah. Like you'll have legit fans. That being said,
Playing
play
everybody,
as
both
many people as you
sides.
can.
Everybody, everybody. Like, I
45,
want to
40.
play everyone.
And these defenses aren't bad. It's just there's so much talent on the offensive side. Like defenses can only do but so much, man.
You're playing. You're playing Eckler. You're playing Mike Williams. You're playing Keenan. You are playing. You're playing Mostert with Wilson out. With Wilson out,
Yep.
I actually love Mostert
I
for the
like
next
most
few
a lot.
weeks.
Yeah.
You're playing Waddle. You are playing Tyreek. You are playing Tua. You are obviously playing Herbert. You're playing everybody. I don't see a tight end in this game that I like as much as you like Gerald Everett. I know how
Yep.
you feel about Everett, but I don't love him in that same way. but
I like Gerald a
he's
lot.
gonna be a decent option.
He is. He
I'm
is.
aware.
This is going to be
I'm
fun.
aware.
This is going to be fun. That game is going to
That's
be
gonna
fun.
be probably the most fun game of the weekend. Yeah, that game's
Are
gonna
you
be fun.
playing Quentin Johnson or Josh Palmer? If you have to.
I'm playing neither of them. If I have to, week one, I like Josh Palmer. I like
Okay.
Josh Palmer until we get to the point where Johnston is actually out snapping it. Everything that's
Okay.
come out of Chargers camp suggests that Palmer is their third wide receiver until we see otherwise. So I don't want to play either of them this week, though. Just to be
I
clear,
feel you.
like
I
it's
feel
week
you.
one. Go chalk. Don't get cute.
Los Angeles Rams without Cooper Cup at the Seattle Seahawks. Here's how many Rams I'm playing.
All right, so we're gonna start with Cup.
Yeah,
We're gonna start with Cup.
we have to
I'm
start with
okay. I'm playing one. I'm playing one in a possible. Actually, two in a possible Rams, which I wasn't expecting. I'm playing two in a possible.
Higby Akers and then maybe Van.
Maybe, depending on what your roster looks like. So it really is one of those things where if you lost Cup, well, you didn't lose. Say you drafted early and you lost Cup this week. Okay, fair enough. You want to play Van? Those targets have to go somewhere. I do think Higby, excuse me, is going to
Yeah.
get the bulk of the targets this week.
Yep.
But they're going to throw to somebody on the outside. I think it's going to be Jefferson. That being said, I don't want to try it. Like, I want to see it for
No.
a week. Like, if he goes out this week and he gets 8
Yeah.
targets, maybe I consider him next week while Kupp is still out. But I don't want to play him this week.
Right. We got my guy Steve in the chat talking about Puka Nakua. You can do that, my guy. You let me know how that goes. If it goes well, congrats, I guess. But
So,
not doing it,
so
bro.
here's the thing. I'm not against the idea of having him on your roster at all because the reports out of camp have been really good about him
Yeah.
all summer.
You can't play him
I'm
week one.
not doing it in week one.
You can't play him week
I'm
one.
not playing him week one. I'm just not doing it.
Seattle side, you're playing all those dudes. I think you really are because you're playing all three
All of
receivers.
them.
I think you can play
Yep.
both running backs because I do think Charbonnet is going to have a legit role.
I think he's going to have a legit role. Back to generally speaking, I need to see it week one. I just need to see it. So I'm not playing him this week. I need to see it.
Okay. Okay.
That's just a personal preference. I need to see it.
Yep.
Um,
And I mean,
that
we
being
know
said,
I'm
it
all
is
in on
part of a
Geno this
bigger
year.
conversation where, look, I think that Charbonnet this is going to be a true timeshare. Like,
Very soon.
they took him top 50. They are going to
Yeah.
use him. I still think Kenneth Walker is very good, but the fact that he missed most of the summer and Charbonnet just got all those first team reps, it matters. It does
Yeah.
matter. So
Yeah.
I'm not playing Charbonnet this week, but he is somebody who has to be rostered in every single league
Every
because,
single league.
look, by midseason, I think it's a true timeshare where it's almost 50-50 split. But in the random instance that Walker gets hurt, Charbonnet's a top 15 play any week that
Yes.
Walker's out. And that goes the
Yeah.
other way, too. Walker is a top
Other way.
15 play any week that Charbonnet is out. Yeah, that
Walker,
works either way.
for me, Walker becomes a top 10 play without Charbonnet. Charbonnet becomes a top 15 guy. I just think Walker's
I
more
actually,
explosive.
actually might feel differently just because of the
Might
pass
feel the
catching.
opposite. Okay. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. They like Charbonnet a lot more in the pass game than they do Kenneth Walker. That's true.
Yo, is DJ Dallas still around to steal touches? That dude's
Yeah,
still there?
Travis Homer. I think Travis Homer's still alive. Like this is it's always these guys, yo. It's always these guys. B. Travis Homer gonna get like 6 random touches and score on one of them. It's just gonna be like, what, bro? Game is the
It's
worst.
funny
Yo. I
because
already
it's
see
true.
it. I already see it.
It's the worst. It's the
Let's get.
worst.
We are making beautiful time. Let's get to the let's get to the last two, man. This should have been. You could have easily had Buffalo at Dallas and then had Giants Jets on September 11th, but that's not how they did it. So that's fine.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
You feel me?
Ooh. I
You
don't want
feel
to see
me?
Buffalo week one, though. I'm trying to
You
beat
could
up
have
on
had Buffalo.
y'all. No,
no,
no, no,
not
no, no.
us.
I'm trying to beat up on y'all. Nah,
Giants hosting. Finally, we
Giants
get to
can't,
host
for
one of
whatever
these Sunday
reason,
night.
Dak sees the Giants, and Dak, it's
Oh
like when
gosh, he
Dak
destroys us.
arrives.
He
Like
destroys us,
Dak,
bro.
for whatever reason, can't stand y'all. Dak is gonna. So let's start. I am playing Dak Prescott.
Of course,
You're playing Tony Pollard. I
of
am
course,
playing CD Lamb. I am
of course.
playing Amari. Excuse, I almost called him Amari Cooper. I'm playing Brandon
Ooh,
Cooks.
Brandon. Of course you are.
Um,
Tight ends always
depending
kill
on
us.
what you did
You
at
can
tight
throw
end,
Ferguson up there.
I
They
like.
all
Look,
they always kill us.
I like Ferguson. Like I need to be clear. I actually like Ferguson this year as a. He's better than a flyer. I think he's going to be decent, but there is a scenario where he has a Schultz like just explosion this year. Dak
Yep.
really likes the guy. Dak really likes him. So I probably wouldn't want to play him this week. I'd want to see it, but Ferguson is worthwhile depending on if you have Travis Kelce and he's not playing tonight and Jake Ferguson is on waivers, go grab Ferguson for this weekend. That's kind of how
Yeah,
I feel.
I'm with you. Um, on the Giants side of the ball, you're playing Daniel Jones because his rushing upside is enough that you're going to play him 100%. You're smash playing Saquon, and I think the only pass catcher you can feel comfortable with is Waller. It's the only thing that we've heard anything consistent about is that Darren Waller is getting all of the targets and he's getting all of the work.
I agree with that. Look, I need to ask this question because I don't watch the Giants close enough.
Oh
What
Lord,
I know that he produced. What happened in the last month of the season that had Isaiah Hodgins running
he
around
was looking
like
magnificent.
he was Brandon Marshall in his
He
prime?
was looking incredible.
Like,
I appreciated it
but
so
nobody
much.
believes in him this year.
They don't.
Nobody believes in him this year. I don't want any of those Giants wide receivers. I agree with you, Jones, Waller, Barkley. Keep moving.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that.
I will
Um,
say this. I think Waller is going to have a particularly big game, and with Kelsey out, he would probably be my tight end one for this week. For this week in particular,
I can see that. I can see that.
the
He's
Cowboys
just
are going
gonna
to
get
make
so
it
many
look.
targets.
The Cowboys are going to make it very, very clear. Saquon's not beating us.
Yes.
They're going to make that abundantly clear very, very quickly. Um, those Waller's going to get plenty of attention. It's going to be one on one with the safety. That's going to be. They're going to say Malik Hooker. That's your guy. Just go follow and go cover. And Malik Hooker played really well last year. I am really
Yeah.
happy. That was my guy coming out of the draft. He got his money this offseason, so he's going to stick around in Dallas. He's really made it home there. But Waller is very good. He's going to win some. He's going to lose some.
Yeah. I mean,
Can you post
Giants
that?
fans.
Can you post that? Okay,
Like, come
okay.
on,
I need
bro.
to say this.
He's a
I will
Giants fan.
sleep off. I will
Leave
I
my man
will I
Kev
will sleep
alone,
off.
yo. Leave my
I
man
will sleep
Kev
off.
alone.
I'm
The Giants,
napping. Yeah, I will sleep
they
off
are.
this week.
I will. Like, we don't.
Look,
We're not gonna do this week
this
one.
isn't a knock on the
Nobody
Giants. I
believes.
think the
Nobody
Giants.
believes how good this Cowboys defense is gonna be. Except I
This
see it,
Cowboys defense
and I'm
is about
warning
to be
everybody.
top. Look, it is about to be top three in the league, and it's not going to be three. Like this defense is
They're
real.
really good.
I don't think that people quite understand
They're
how
really
real
good.
this defense is and how deep
Yeah.
they are on the defensive line. I love the fact that they're legitimately going to be rotating 7, 8 players who are all going to get 20, 25 plus snaps. They
Yep.
just stay fresh on the defensive line. They have corners who can press or play zone. Nobody talks about the Cowboys safeties, but that 3-man weave at safety is real. It
Yeah.
is
All right,
very,
man.
very real.
All
It
right,
is
man.
very, very effective.
I heard you, bro. I
That
heard you.
defense is real.
I heard you, bro. I heard you. I heard you. I promise I heard you. I promise I heard you. I promise I heard you.
Micah Parsons is going to break the
All
sack
right, yeah.
record this week.
We got Buffalo at the Jets,
Oh, you
man.
just
I'm
gonna
not doing
ignore my
this.
statement?
We're not waxing this. We're not
All right.
waxing poetically about Dallas for
Look,
for
look,
four
no, no, no,
minutes,
no, no.
man.
He just saw Joey Bosa get. He just saw Nick Bosa get paid, right?
Yeah,
Obviously, he's going to want more. Nah, Micah's going to go in there like I want 40 because he's going to break the sack record. He's going in
bro.
there like I want 40 a year
I can see it,
because
bro.
I'm that dude.
I can see it.
That's what's going to happen. He's going to break the sack record, and then Jerry's going to talk about Pie and how he can't pay him and how he's
I can
broke
see it.
baby while he's on a telecall from his $250 million yacht. And Micah's going
Yeah.
to say, "Nah, fuck you, pay me," and he will eventually get paid.
Just play well, Giants.
Giants are going to be
Buffalo at
solid this year, though. So this isn't
yeah,
this
I
isn't
agree.
hate.
I agree. Buffalo at the Jets to finish off the week, man. Aaron Rodgers' season is official. I legit think Buffalo's about to beat the shit out of the Jets on Monday night. I really do. I don't know. It's just a gut feeling. Not because I think they're that much better. I just think they're about to beat them up, bro.
I have a feeling that the buzz in that stadium is going to be unlike anything for a Jets game in my lifetime, or at least since the Bill Parcells days. Like it's been a long time since,
Yeah,
like Mark Sanchez, he was making AFC title games. Nobody thought Mark
it was.
Sanchez was going to lead them anywhere. They knew better. As far as the Jets, I'm playing Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers.
Yep.
I am playing Dalvin Cook this week. I think they're going
Yep.
to settle Brees in really
I
slowly.
think I'm
First month,
gonna
I really want
not
Dalvin.
play Brees unless I
Um,
have to. Yeah.
for the first month, because the thing is, Brees is going to have randomly on week 5 or 6 have a game where he gets like 16 carries for like 174 touchdowns, and you don't want him on the bench when that happens. But for the first month, I'm going to play it slow with Brees. Garrett
Yeah.
Wilson, you are playing
He's
him
gonna be
each and every
incredible.
week. It doesn't matter the
Yeah.
opponent; you're going to play him each and every week. I don't want to play another Jets pass catcher other than
I don't
Garrett
either.
Wilson.
I agree. I don't either. Buffalo side, obviously Josh, obviously Diggs. Um, tight end, I need to wait to see because it sounds like Kincaid and Knox are both going to be on the field. They like Kincaid a whole lot. Um,
Hmm.
Gabe Davis, I think you're playing because he's healthy, and I think you can
I agree.
go and
I
especially
agree.
because Sauce is going to be shadowing Diggs. Gabe is going to have a lot of opportunity to go out there and get some plays in. And it sounds like James Cook is their running back one by enough of
I
a
like
margin that I think
I
you could
like
play him.
I like James Cook.
Yeah.
Temper expectations. Shout out to my boy Steve out there talking about some Alvin.
Yo,
Was it Alvin
James Cook, man.
Kamara that he compared him to? I
No,
was like,
Marshall
bruh,
Falk, man.
relax, man, relax.
Marshall Falk,
But I do
man.
like James Cook this year. I do like James Cook this year. I do want to play him this week. I don't get the feeling that the Jets are going to get stomped out. I actually think that's going to be one of the best games of the weekend.
I hope
I
it is.
am not
That'd
a
be fun.
believer in the Bills in terms of being an elite team anymore. I think they are a good team with a great quarterback, but I don't like the vibes coming out of Buffalo, man. I think that's a 10-11
It
win
feels
team
weird.
that's, they're going to make the playoffs. I'm not saying they're going to fall off a cliff, but
Yeah,
I don't see the team that's challenging Cincinnati and Kansas City.
I feel you. We got through the games, man. Look at Mahomes running on the field. It's about to be one of those nights with Pat, man. I just feel it. You can sometimes you can
Football,
feel it in the air.
football's back.
It's
Football's
about to be
back.
one of those nights, man. We appreciate y'all. Week one, good luck. Remember, this is a marathon. You're hearing it from me. Patience, man. I've exercised a lot of patience coming into this year, and things are reflecting beautifully from what I'm doing, which means I'm going to be sad for most of this year because my teams aren't going to be as good as I want them to be.
Week one, you just want to figure out, you want to start to figure out what your roster is, what it
Let's figure out
isn't,
your
and
life.
then you kind of figure out from there.
I agree,
And don't
100%.
overreact. Look, I know that it's going to happen next week and we're going to talk. Don't overreact to waivers too drastically after week one.
We can't.
Don't
We
be the
can't.
guy who released Kenneth Walker after week one in a keeper league because he wanted to pick up some 6 wide receiver. Don't be that guy.
Please don't be that
I
guy.
was that guy. I was that
Please
guy.
don't be that guy.
I still won that
Yeah,
league though. I still won
you
that
did.
league though.
You did. You
Hey,
still cooked.
I still won that league though.
You still cooked, man. Enjoy football. We appreciate y'all, man. We are back next week. We'll
It's
go over
me.
what happened week one. All right, man. Calm that shit down. We appreciate y'all, man. Be easy.